There is not now, nor will there ever be, a time when it is appropriate to execute a seriously mentally ill man.
And as I pulled it out, it just went off because the barrel was back.
That it is the court's intention that the defendant never set foot in free society again.
When killers realize they're caught, some try one last desperate move, faking insanity. But judges and juries aren't easily fooled. Today we're looking at defendants who put on elaborate performances, claiming they were too mentally ill to be responsible for their crimes. The question, were they really insane or just desperate? Case number 1. Our first case involves one of the most horrific mass shootings in American history. James Holmes walked into a midnight screening of The Dark Knight Rises in Aurora, Colorado on July 20th, 2012 and opened fire.
14 for a shooting at Century Theaters, 14300 East Alameda Avenue. They're saying somebody's shooting in the auditorium.
Killing 12 people and injuring 70 others. His defense? He claimed he was insane and couldn't control his actions. Holmes had meticulously planned the attack for months. He bought weapons, ammunition, body armor, and tear gas. He booby-trapped his apartment with explosives. He dyed his hair orange and told police he was the Joker. Everything pointed to careful, methodical planning. At trial in 2015, Holmes' defense team argued he was legally insane due to schizophrenia and couldn't distinguish right from wrong.
There is not now, nor will there ever be, a time when it is appropriate to execute a seriously mentally ill man.
They presented psychiatrists who diagnosed him with severe mental illness, but prosecutors systematically destroyed this defense.
Did he tell you that he'd purchased 2 tear gas canisters at that time?
No.
Did he tell you that he'd purchased a gas mask and a filter?
No.
Did he tell you that he had purchased or attempted to purchase any weapons?
No.
His notebooks showed rational, organized planning. Court-appointed psychiatrists testified that while Holmes had mental health issues, he was legally sane and understood what he was doing.
Thought it through, planned it, had weapons of choice.
The trial included devastating victim impact testimony. Ashley Moser testified from a wheelchair. She was paralyzed in the shooting, and her 6-year-old daughter, Veronica, was killed.
I was told that she didn't make it, that she had passed away.
On July 16, 2015, the jury rejected Holmes' insanity defense. They found him guilty on all 165 counts, including 12 counts of first-degree murder and 140 counts of attempted murder. The jury couldn't unanimously agree on execution. Holmes was sentenced to 12 consecutive life sentences plus 318 additional years.
12 life sentences without the possibility of parole and consecutive to 3,312 years.
Case number 2. Our second case involves the murder of one of the most beloved performers in music history.
Well, the bulletin about her murder was a shocker, and the death of Spanish-language singer Selena turned instantly into a worldwide story.
Yolanda Saldívar shot and killed Tejano superstar Selena Quintanilla Perez on March 31st, 1995. During her trial, Saldívar attempted to claim the shooting was an accident and exhibited bizarre behavior suggesting mental instability. Yolanda had been the president of Selena's fan club and manager of her boutiques. But Selena's family discovered Yolanda had been embezzling money. When Selena confronted her at a Texas motel, Yolanda shot her in the back.
A woman ran in the lobby, said she's been shot. She's laid on the floor in his blood. Okay, who shot her? The lady at 158. Her name? Yes. Yolanda?
At trial, Yolanda's defense claimed the shooting was accidental, that the gun went off during a struggle when Yolanda was attempting suicide.
When she was walking to the door, and I told her, don't close the door. And in that instant, the gun went off.
But prosecutors presented evidence that Yolanda had bought the gun days earlier, luring Selena to the motel under false pretenses.
We think it's a straight-up murder case. Don't think anything less than that would do justice in this case.
During the trial, Yolanda exhibited strange behavior. Witnesses testified that after shooting Selena, Yolanda held police at bay for nearly 10 hours in a standoff in her truck, holding the gun to her own head and negotiating.
I'm gonna kill him here. Selena, I'm gonna kill myself. Just went off because the barrel was back.
This calculated behavior contradicted claims of mental breakdown. Selena's family attended every day of the trial. Her father, Abraham Quintanilla, spoke about the daughter he lost.
Given person, sweet personality, happy. She was always happy.
That is the worst news a parent could hear.
A talented, kind young woman on the verge of crossover stardom who was murdered by someone she trusted. On October 23rd, 1995, after just 3 hours of deliberation, the jury convicted Yolanda Saldívar of first-degree murder.
The jury, having found the defendant guilty of murder, assess her punishment of confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for life.
They didn't buy the accident claim or the mental instability performance. The judge sentenced Yolanda to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 30 years. She became eligible for parole in 2025, but was denied. Yolanda Saldívar will likely die in prison for murdering Selena. Case number 3. Our final case involves a mass shooting that nearly killed a U.S. congresswoman.
The guy who looked like the guy had a semi-automatic pistol. He went in, he could start firing.
On January 8, 2011, Jared Loughner opened fire at a constituent meeting in Tucson, Arizona, killing 6 people, including a 9-year-old girl, and severely wounding Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords.
Is anybody injured? Did you say Gabrielle Giffords was hit? She's hit. Okay. He's breathing.
Loughner shot 19 people in a matter of seconds before being tackled by bystanders. Among the dead were federal Judge John Roll and 9-year-old Christina Taylor Greene, who had been born on September 11, 2001, and was interested in government. When Loughner first appeared in court, his behavior was bizarre and theatrical. He was removed from the courtroom multiple times for disruptive behavior.
Surprise. It was a first, unexpected. It is most rare for anyone to interrupt a federal judge in court, particularly when he is reading a ruling.
Mental health experts evaluated Loughner, and he initially found him incompetent to stand trial due to schizophrenia. He was sent to a federal psychiatric facility for forced medication and treatment. However, prosecutors presented evidence that Loughner had extensively planned the attack. This suggested rational, goal-oriented behavior inconsistent with complete insanity. After months of forced medication, Loughner's mental state improved enough that he was found competent to understand the proceedings. Faced with overwhelming evidence and testimony from victims, including Gabrielle Giffords herself.
Why, all of a sudden he stopped and looked at me, and I wasn't right in the chairs or right in front of the Safeway. He pointed the gun at me and looked. I ducked, and when I ducked, I felt the bullet go right across the back of my head.
On November 8, 2012, Loughner pleaded guilty to 19 counts of murder and attempted murder. He was sentenced to 7 consecutive life terms, plus 140 years without the possibility of parole. While Loughner genuinely suffered from mental illness, his case demonstrated that even seriously mentally ill defendants can be held legally responsible when they plan. These 3 cases show the complex intersection of mental illness and criminal responsibility. James Holmes' elaborate planning, Yolanda Saldívar's dramatic performances, and Jared Loughner's bizarre courtroom behavior all attempts to avoid accountability for murder. But juries and judges saw through the performances. Mental illness doesn't automatically equal legal insanity. If you found these cases fascinating, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Coming up next, we're covering killers who blame their crimes on video games, movies, and social media. The excuses will shock you. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.